Another scam involving Italian helicopter firm Augusta Westland, and this has an army brigadier under the scanner. Headlines Today now has exclusive information that the brigadier and two Indian businessmen have been named in an Italian charge sheet for soliciting kickbacks in return to fix a deal for the army. Augusta is already facing heat for the lucrative 3,000 crore rupee VVIP helicopter deal. Italian investigators have zeroed in on Augusta Westland and its agent, who could have they found incriminating documents which directly name an Indian Army officer, Brigadier V.S. Seni. They've also found a copy of his purported letter offering to fudge the results of trials in a competition for 197 surveillance choppers for the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force. Augusta Westland's AW119 choppers were rejected from the competition a few months later, but not for any of these reasons. The documents found at this middleman's house names two Indian businessmen, Gautam Khaitan and Praveen Bakshi, indicating that they were middlemen who were in talks with Augusta Westland to swing the deal their way. As things turned out, the company was rejected from the competition, which now nears its end as a face-off between European firm Eurocopter and Russian firm Kamov intensifies. However, the documents, which date back to 2010, clearly suggest that Indian Army officials and arms dealer were actively looking to manipulate a big military contract for money. Army has confirmed to Headlines Today that an effort is on already at the Ministry of Defence level to ascertain all facts. Alright, so did the government take kickbacks for a VVIP chopper deal? That's the question. A deal between the Ministry of Defence and the Italian chopper manufacturer for the purchase of Augusta Westland choppers has come under scanner by the Italian authorities for alleged corruption. Italian prosecutors tapped the phone of alleged middleman Guido Hashke as part of the probe into this deal. Headlines Today has exclusive access to Italian court charge sheet, which claims to have taped conversation between him and unnamed Indian individuals. The Italian investigators are probing allegations that Swiss-based consultant was paid 51 million euros to swing the Indian deal, and that a part of it, 10 million euros, was routed back to Italy and distributed to a political party. So here's how the deal actually panned out. In December 2006, request for proposal was sent out by the Ministry of Defence to 7 helicopter manufacturers around the world. In Feb 2007, 5 companies responded, from which the MOD shortlisted the US firm Skokoshki for its S-92 and Augusta Westland for the AW101. More than a year later, in July 2008, the Defence Ministry began commercial negotiations with Augusta Westland despite certain shortcomings found in the chopper's parameters. The Cabinet Committee on Security in 27 Jan 2010 cleared the procurement of 12 Augusta Westland choppers for the Indian Air Force. Almost 2 years after the deal was struck in March 2012, the Italian state began probing graft allegations, including payment of commission in the Indian deal. A month later, the Indian Embassy in Rome told the Defence Ministry that Italy probe did not pertain to Indian Air Force deal. However, a few days ago, on 19th October 2012, Ralph Hashke was arrested in Switzerland for allegedly taking 51 million euros commission for the Indian Air Force deal. Following the arrest, Anthony once again engaged with the MEA and has sought full probe details from Italy. For more details on the story, we're now joined by our defence correspondent Shiv Arur. Shiv, we have exclusive copy of the attested memorandum that contains Indian Brigadier, serving Brigadier Seni's name. Just tell us a bit more about what exactly is mentioned in this memorandum.
Well, this memorandum is quite specific, Ruchika, and it was found only after Guido Hashke was interrogated for quite a while by the public prosecutors and investigators in Naples, Italy. And in fact, these documents were apparently hidden away in a secret locker in this particular agent's mother's house in the Turin district of Italy. Now, the fact is, this particular memorandum refers to Brigadier V.S. Sani. It also mentions that this particular officer has been in touch with Augusta Westland's agents, and that he has made a specific offer. Offering to manipulate the deal in favor, a deal for 197 light helicopters for the Army and Air Force in favor of Augusta Westland, in exchange for a monetary consideration of about $5 to $6 million, or a percentage of the deal value whenever the contract is signed. Now, a few months after this letter or this contact was allegedly made, Augusta Westland was eliminated from the competition for whatever reasons. They were at least at that time ostensibly technical reasons and not anything else. Because the company is still very much, doing business with India. It wasn't blacklisted or anything of that sort. This particular memorandum, which is by Guido Hashke, mentions not just his brigadier's name, but it mentions a colonel's name, a Colonel Sidhu as well, who apparently who is alleged to have been involved in a previous iteration of the same contract for 197 helicopters. So, the suspicious thing about this letter is that it takes names very specifically in the Indian context. It names two, Indian individuals, Gautam Khaitan and Praveen Bakshi. There is no confirmation about what role these two persons actually played in this entire affair. The memorandum only mentions that there was a meeting that was arranged between Guido Hashke in the presence of lawyers and these two Indian businessmen. So their role cannot be ascertained at this time. But the Army and the Ministry of Defense have responded, Ruchika, and they've said that all information is being gathered at this time, and if necessary, an inquiry will be conducted and action taken.
All right, Shiva Root there giving out details of the memorandum that was found at the Italian agent's residence, which names serving Indian Brigadier B.S. Seni and some other Indian businessmen. We're yet to hear from the Army officially on this particular development. In the meantime, we also spoke to former Air Marshal A.K. Singh on what really should the Ministry of Defense be doing at this stage.
Today, with the availability of state-of-art equipment and state-of-art helicopters there, why would Indian government want to take a look at helicopters which may or may not meet the requirement? And that is how the middlemen creep in. And today, Indian military, be it the Army, Navy or the Air Force, is certainly on the back foot because of a large number of misdemeanors cropped up. So to keep it totally above board, I think we need to make more stringent requirements in terms of request for RFPs, and then also, why don't we go and follow the route which large number of international bodies take, where you pit one company against the other and put in your observers, and you select the best.